Hello everybody and welcome to the final third, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a special video because we have now decided to sort of change our video recording schedule. So usually we upload prediction videos midweek and that's it, nothing more, just an analysis of what we think is going to happen in the game. We decided to sort of branch away from that, and we are going to do sort of different content during the midweek videos, and then we'll keep the weekend videos sort of, the beginning of the week videos as sort of analysis of the results. But in today's video, we're going to be doing sort of a deep dive into my personal career and how I want to actually become a football coach and reach a high level. So that's what we'll be doing today. The boys are going to ask me questions and I'll hopefully answer them. We'll also be looking at a couple transfer rumours, obviously with the likes of Semenyo and some of the clubs and who they're interested in as well. And we'll end the video with just the list of our predictions. And yeah, that's sort of the plan for the video today. But before we get into that, as we always have to, Al, can you reveal the player from the last one?
Yes, it was Samuel Eto'o, an African legend, I'd say. So, yeah, that was the player from the last video. Let us know if you got that.
Yeah, so if you guys want to go ahead, and it depends on who wants to go first.
Yeah, I think the first question that should be asked is, how did you get started and how can you get started, for the viewers that maybe are considering going on the same kind of journey?
Well, personally, when I look at it, I've felt like I've always wanted to sort of reach into the world of football. I've loved football since a long time. I've obviously we're doing the podcast, and football has a special place in my heart. And I feel like to understand the tactical side, to coach and sort of get to know players and sort of be right in the depth of it, and understanding football in a sort of from an internal level is something I really, really want to do. And I started my footballing education from the FAW. That we're not sponsored by them, so
Hey,
yeah,
if they want to
maybe in the
sponsor us,
future.
just let us know.
Yeah, maybe in the future. Yeah,
Big
I
time.
am a student, just to say. But yeah, I started off with the FAW, which stands for Football Association Wales. We are Welsh. I was born in Wales, so when I do certain courses, I get discounts, which is also a nice little thing for people that are Welsh, because obviously it's sort of aimed at Welsh people. And yeah, it's a very good place, and I think we'll leave the link in the description for the website for it as well. So if you guys are interested in that, then we'll do that for you guys as well. So that's where I started, and yeah.
Ali, you want to say the next question, or should I say the next
Yeah,
one?
go for your question.
So in terms of like the career progression, like where do you see yourself in the next like 5 or so years?
It's kind of a strange one because I started obviously the courses and all that. I'm still sort of looking into actually getting a job itself, but the plan is over the next 5 years, and the plan in my head is hopefully in the new year to get a job and get started at any level. I have a couple contacts where I'm sort of trying to start and get started, like I said, even if it's the under sevens, under eights, understand how football works, gain more experience with coaching, and hopefully progress more and more and gain more connections. And let's say in 5 years time, if I were to give like a vague prediction, I hope I can reach a professional club by that point, hopefully. Again, things can change, but hopefully I can reach a professional level, whether that's in this country. Honestly, I'm very open-minded, and I wouldn't even mind sort of leaving the country and exploring other places. It's also a big opportunity while I guess I'm still young. So, yeah, that's just what I think, to be honest.
Sounds amazing, to be fair, and I respect the ambition that you've got going on with the coaching, and to be fair, I can't wait to follow the journey. Obviously you're our friend as well, so it's nice to see the ambition that you've got, and it'll be really nice to see how far you can go with it. And that was going to be kind of similar to what my next question is, like what is your true ambition with the coaching, like how far maybe you want to go with it and stuff. Like, what's your true ambition? Where do you really want to see yourself at the end of it?
Listen, it's easy to say I want to reach the top of football and, be in the Premier League and all that. It is really easy to say that. Now, that obviously is the dream, to reach the top level, to hopefully. I've always had a dream to be on the sideline, even if I'm not a coach. If I'm not a manager per se, and I'm just a coach or assistant coach, just hearing the Champions League anthem, getting the goosebumps. You know what I mean? I would love to just experience that and be a part of that, and sort of, not just as a fan, but as a person who's really involved in the game and having a sort of an effect in that sense. Obviously, that is where I want to reach. I want to reach that top level, but obviously, like I said, step by step. That is a dream at the current moment, so I need to get started, and hopefully, I can see that pathway start to build up and go through different levels, and we'll have to wait and see. This is a journey that I don't know what's going to unfold, whether I will succeed or not, but I am willing to take it on head on and give it my all, and I'm very excited.
Nice.
So, like, yeah, my next question, I mean, that sounds really good, to be fair. I mean, we are rooting for you as well, because it's not an easy, career to go to. I mean, we know professional footballers in general is very hard to get to that level, especially the very top. So for you to go across that and, try to be a coach is also quite difficult. So I do respect that a lot. Like, a lot of commitment has to go into it in terms of money as well. So, I mean, you could definitely talk about that as well if you want to talk about that too. Just to give an idea of the viewers what they are expecting to pay for this.
If I just pull that up here, actually, I've currently started by just doing the first couple courses. If I just pull that up, if you just give me 2 seconds.
Take your time.
So you start off with like an introduction to football, which I believe is £100, if I'm not mistaken. That is sort of the starting price. If I just give me a couple more seconds. Sorry, it's kind of.
No, take your time.
Already prepared.
No, it's fine. There you go. You got it.
Yeah, so I've pulled it up. So the introduction to coaching football is £100. That's where you get started. That's where it sort of gives you a little insight. It's about 7 hours, I believe. 7 hours. Yeah, and it's all online, so you're able to sort of understand and do it at your own pace. So you can leave it whenever you want, and you can return to it whenever you want. So it's also very good because I feel like it's interactive, because it asks you questions, and the videos are very informative. You learn what it is to start the coaching journey. And then 2 very important things that you have to do as well is the safeguarding, which sort of you go into sort of the things like general sort of well-being, which like the well-being of, let's say, the people you're coaching. So it doesn't matter what age you are. We know loads of things happen in the world, and sometimes that affects you mentally, physically. So you have to sort of be aware of those things, and and understand what to do in those situations, and I could give you many examples, but that's sort of what it is, you know what I mean? And then there's also obviously first aid, and obviously that's also very important in football. Like, let's say a situation where somebody, who knows, breaks their leg, or, and has a head injury. Yeah, so let's say, for example, it's a head injury. A head injury, you actually have to come off, no matter how severe it is. So if you watch the Premier League, players get annoyed that they have to come off. It's a must. You have to come off, because obviously, if there's a risk that you might have I don't know, hit your head pop hard. There could be some mental sort of things that could be affected. You have to make sure that it's safety on that side. But yeah, and all of that together, that is what I've done so far, and that's £175. But then as you go on, you got to start with the grassroots, and then that's also £175. And then you move on to the UEFA C license. Depending on where you're from, if you're from Wales, it's £450, but if you're not, it's £750, so it's a bit more expensive. Then you got the B license, which is £700 for Welsh people, or actually people that have represented Wales, and even at like a player level, and £150 for non-Welsh residents. And then you also have the A license, which reaches 4,000 for Welsh residents, and the final one is the UEFA Pro license, and that is £12,000. So as you can see, it is very, very expensive, especially for people that don't have. At the current moment, we haven't really got stable jobs. Looking at myself. So yeah, it gets a bit expensive, but like I said, what I hope is as I progress more and more throughout the coaching journey, hopefully I can start to get paid, and maybe maybe even depending on the club, they might be able to help me out with that as well. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of pricing of it.
Nice. No, that sounds good. That sounds good. I was saying I had another question as well. What do you look forward to the most with the coaching journey, and not just that, but what do you think your best attributes would be as a coach, if you get what I'm saying? What do you think you can bring to the coaching, like as yourself?
For me, coaching is something that I've admired from when I started to watch football. Like I see how different coaches have different impacts on their players and their teams. Let's say we talk about managers, and obviously the coaches, the assistant coaches. It's not just the manager who does everything, you know. But obviously you see different teams; they have different styles of play. Again, I obviously want to learn different styles of play and how to implement that. But me personally, as a person, and I think the boys can sort of maybe agree with this. I'm very good listener. I talk to people. When I feel like someone needs help, I always try to branch out to them. I want to go to them. I want to help them out. And I feel like when it comes to somebody, like let's say a player, let's say I reach a certain level and a player comes up to me and he says I got a problem, or I need to improve in this sense. I'm very willing to sort of spend some time, you know, give good advice, or at least I think I give good advice, or try to. And really build a connection with the players. And I feel like that is something I feel like I am very good at, in terms of I think I can build connections with people just by listening. And being a good listener is very important for me. And yeah, that's sort of something that I want to use.
Sounds good. Sounds like more like a man manager, you'd say, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, the tactical side, I haven't really gotten into that yet. But for the current moment, I feel like as a man manager, I can probably take a player from the shoulder and, you know, discuss things, you know what I mean, and help him out in that sense at this current moment.
Nice.
I've got a question, but this is like my last question. So obviously it's not going to be a straightforward journey. It's going to be some difficulties on the way. So what are some doubts that you have, or any difficulties that you will face, you think?
So, like you say, it's obviously not going to be an easy journey. Reaching any level of professional football is very, very difficult, and not many people do it. But the sort of doubts I have in my head is potentially pricing. Like we said, it could be very expensive. And obviously, there's that sense of, am I actually good enough to reach this level? Which obviously, in my head at the moment, I hope I am, and I obviously going to learn more and more. And that's also something as well. I believe I'm a good learner, and I can learn things quickly, and I really want to apply myself. Because when I find something I truly love, and I feel like I can achieve something in it, I sort of dig my feet in, and I really push to reach the highest level I can. So in that sense, obviously I don't know, because it is right at the start of the journey. But yeah, it's like I said, it's very, very exciting. But yeah, there are a couple doubts in my head, and you know, these things, they sort of come at the beginning, but hopefully further down the line I can make those doubts you know, go away.
Sounds
to be fair,
sounds good.
Yeah, like I said before, yeah, it's not easy, but we are rooting for you. You know, hopefully you do get through it, and you know, it does go as smoothly as possible. But you know, in life, nothing comes easy. You got to work hard for it. So yeah, just all the best in it.
100%.
Agree.
All the best. And
yeah, I wanted to add one more little thing, and I really appreciate you boys, you know, because this is also something that you know, is great, and I feel like the podcast is something that has really also helped me see this. And I feel like this is just a message for anybody who try and push for your dreams, you know what I mean? It's something that I feel like it's very, very important. You know, try to do a career that you really, really love. Especially like we obviously started this podcast together, and you know, we are growing slowly but surely, and hopefully we can grow more and more as a collective and as a channel, and obviously the podcast. But me on my journey, hopefully I can inspire people as well, that it's not just, you know, anybody can make it. You know, we've seen so many journeys of people trying to make it and they don't succeed, but you've also seen people that come from really nothing and succeed and reach the highest level of anything, not just sport, not just football, but, you know, for example, acting, or, you know, for anything, you know, even in a business model. So that is also one message I want to give out to the people. So never give up, and try and push to achieve your dreams.
Nah.
Yeah, one thing I want to say as well is that I feel like at some point you got to be a bit delusional, because if you keep listening to what other people tell you to do or whatever, or they think that what your plan isn't a good plan, and they say that, oh, you're thinking too ambitiously or whatever, then you're never going to reach your potential, you know what I mean? Because you'll just listen to what everyone else says and not what you want. So I feel like at some point you got to just listen to yourself and just, go for your dreams, because
Exactly.
like,
You never know until you try. And that's what
exactly,
I also
100%.
think is very important about this. Like, again, I'm already just at the start of the journey, but I won't know if I'm going to be able to achieve anything in this until I try. And I don't want to sit here when I'm 60 years old and I look back at my life and I say, I could have attempted it, but I didn't, because I was too scared, or I was too nervous, or I had too many
100%.
doubts. So I want to just push ahead and get right into it. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how you learn. You just got to go in the deep end.
100%, I agree with you.
100%. Sounds amazing. And can't wait to just, be with you on your journey and see how it goes. And I'm sure it'll be very good for the viewers to see your journey from the beginning and hopefully to the top, So again, we wish you the best with the journey, and obviously we'll do little updates like pretty much whenever we can. Whether it's every
exactly.
week or so.
As soon as I obviously get the position and get a job, maybe I might be able to give weekly/monthly updates. We'll have to wait and see how that works, and how obviously we get to at that point. But yeah, I'm very excited to sort of also be on the podcast as well, and obviously record the journey. And I believe we'll be uploading it onto this channel. So yeah, I hope you guys can help me out through the journey, and yeah, I really appreciate it, but that is this section done. I really appreciate you guys with the questions, and hopefully that's inspired some of you to sort of maybe follow your dreams, or even know where to go when it comes to coaching, you know what I mean? But let's move on to the next part of the video, and we'll be discussing, like we said, transfers. So currently, Manchester City and Bournemouth are negotiating the signing of Antoine Semenyo. Now, we were discussing which club suits him the best. We were discussing the fact that Liverpool might be the best because they need a left winger. We were discussing the fact that Manchester United might need him a bit more because they need a bit more attacking flair and goals. But he has officially decided to sign for Manchester City. This was stated by David Ornstein. This was stated by Fabrizio Romano. And now Manchester City and Bournemouth are negotiating the payment plan of the release clause. Obviously, that ends on the 10th of January. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Do you guys think he made the right decision?
It's it's a hard one, because when you look at all the options he had, you look at Liverpool, and we talked about why we thought Liverpool might suit him best is because they don't have a left winger, and in terms of game time, it would be perfect for him. And obviously, when you look at City, their left winger at the moment is Jeremy Doku, I believe, isn't it? So, and at the moment, he's doing very well for them. However, the only thing he's kind of lacking in, you could argue, is maybe his decision not his decision making, but his finishing maybe, and just himself in the final third. You know what I mean? No pun intended. But look, Antoine Semenyo has that in abundance in terms of finishing and in terms of how good he is in the box, the opponent's box. So I'm sure that's why Pep Guardiola looked at him and wanted him. And if he does go, I mean, I'm pretty sure it seems like it's pretty much confirmed at this point. I think it'll be a good move for him. I think if he can fight his way into that position, I think he'll secure it, because I think he has everything Doku kind of has, but more, personally. And yeah, so I'm under Pep Guardiola as well. He can only get better. We know how good Pep Guardiola is at developing certain players. And yeah, with Semenyo, I think he will get developed even more. But yeah, it'll be a weird one considering they do have Doku and how good he's doing. So I'm not really sure how that's going to happen, whether he goes straight into the team or whether it's slowly. Obviously, we've seen great players go to City and fail, well, not fail necessarily, but you could say Grealish didn't live up to the heights that we expected him to, especially for the price that he got signed for. And same with Calvin Phillips, I guess you could say as well. So you know what I mean. So City aren't always, they don't always succeed with some of the players they sign, but I think Semenyo's so good, and he's obviously prime proven. So yeah, I don't have many doubts, to be honest.
Yeah, Semenyo's a fantastic player.
100%. I
Sorry,
agree with you.
I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I
wanna
just
go
wanted
ahead
to say,
Yeah.
yeah, like from a United perspective, obviously, because I'm a United fan, I can talk about that perspective too, because we're one of the clubs that's obviously pushing to get him. Look, onto like Ali's point about Jack Grealish, I think that's a good comparison because obviously they play in the same position, and we saw how Grealish at Villa, he's very direct player who used to go at players and try and beat players and go past them and just be direct on goal. Whereas when he went to City, he became more of a player that passes back to the left back and the midfield. Like he wasn't a player that's involved in the attack as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he lost some of his game at City. So I feel like Semenyo might fall into the same trap because we know Semenyo at Bournemouth, he's also a very direct player, likes to go at players, very quick on the ball. However, like I just don't want to see him lose that flair at City because we saw that from Grealish. But I think in terms of United perspective, I think it could be a blessing or a curse for us. A blessing in terms of obviously him rejecting us. That might open up more opportunities to get a good midfielder in January. Save more of that money for a good midfielder. Obviously, the market right now isn't there for us, because I don't think there's like many standout players in midfield in that position that we want to sign. So I think it'll be pretty difficult to get midfield either way in January. But if you get like a Ruben Neves or something just to fill in that role for the likes of Bruno, who's not currently playing right now, I think that would be a good idea. But I think it could also be a curse because I think on the left hand side we're still kind of weak. Dorgu is a good player, but he has his games where he doesn't play well, and he doesn't really have much competition in that area, anyways. Because realistically, it's only like Dallo who plays in this position, and he's not a left wing back either. He doesn't play left on the left side of the pitch, so I feel like it's a bit of a hard topic for United fan to discuss about because there are good things to it and there are bad things to it as well. But I mainly see it as a bad thing because now our rivals are going to get a very good player. So yeah, obviously we don't want that to happen, but it looks like it's going to happen. So yeah.
I mean, there is a thing where you have too many players, I believe. I mean, they've got loads of attacking players, and sometimes that doesn't really help. Like, you look at the players they have in Mamouche. Obviously, he's on AFCON now, so obviously he won't be there for a while. Doku, like you say, Foden, Cherki, Haaland. Like, don't get me wrong, great depth, unbelievable. But at some point, in terms of you look at the way Grealish was treated and how he played very well in that treble winning season, but in the end of the day he wasn't consistent enough because he didn't get enough game time and didn't get enough of a starting run, if that makes sense. Not all the time. In that treble winning season he was there and he was the left winger, but again City kept on buying more players and it's like they enter a cycle. If you're going to come in and you're going to fight for it out, you're not good enough, you're going to leave. Simple as that. And I kind of respect the ruthlessness of Manchester City, but if you look at the way Manchester United or even Liverpool, I feel like were not more desperate for him, because obviously they were more desperate. They probably would have offered stupid wages and tried to convince him to come. But I feel like Liverpool, like we say, are the team that I think would suit him best. That left wing spot is free. We saw what he did at Anfield at the beginning of the season. We see how he's built up a lot of form now. Funnily enough, he scored at Old Trafford, building his goal-scoring tally back up, which is not ideal, because now he's supposed to joining City. But yeah, I feel like with Semenyo, I also said it previously, he wouldn't have been necessarily the main signing I think Man United needed to make in January. Would have had to be a midfielder, because like we say, Bruno's injured now, Kobbie Mainoo's injured. I mean, Casemiro, like I said, he can get suspensions here and there. He was out for a suspension. He could get injuries. He's getting older. Listen, the legs are starting to go. He's playing well, but we can't rely on that on one midfielder. And Ugarte, unfortunately for him, he's just been absolutely awful. And it's really, really crazy to see. To be honest with you, not even sad to see, because there was an expectation when we spend the money that we did on him, and funnily enough, we actually funded João Neves for PSG, and he's one of the best midfielders in the world. So yeah, they got rid of one of the worst and brought in one of the best. But anyway, I feel like a midfielder like Ruben Neves with experience could come in and be very important for Manchester United. And I could waffle on about Manchester United and their transfer window, but we were discussing Semenyo, and exactly, I think he will be a good player for Manchester City, but how much game time will he get? That is a point. And yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. But we're going to move on to one more transfer rumour, and that is for Ali's club. West Ham could be going in and making a move for Adama Traore. We discussed this before, actually. Now, I don't think that's the player Al's very happy with, but
No.
Nuno obviously coached him at Wolves, and you could say maybe got the best out of him. What do you think, Al? Maybe?
Bro, he is literally just a bodybuilder. He is in the wrong sport at the moment. He should be doing track, a race at the Olympics, or bodybuilding. Make a decision. He ain't a footballer, bruv. No offense. Like, he's shown some moments of, being a good player. But, like, bro, yeah, it's like hardly. His finishing's awful. His dribbling is not the best. Like, I just don't know, man. He just looks like a bodybuilder that's trying to play football, bro. It's just not right. And I just don't think it's what we need right now. I've said it first of all. The priority has to be a centre-back. It has to be a centre-back. Honestly, scoring goals, yes, we're not the best. But I don't think that's our biggest problem. I'd say it's more the defence. We've had the lead in games and we've lost because of the defence alone, and that's it, right? Bournemouth 2-0 up, lose because of the defence. Brighton 1-0 up. Okay, we got robbed that one, right? So that's different. What else? Who did we just play? Villa. I'd argue we could have easily won that game if we had a better defence. Again, lost 3-2 when we were 2-1 up. It's things like this. Like, we can score goals. Obviously, yes. I'm not saying don't go for an attacker in January. I think we do also need to go for an attacker. But again, it's not the priority. And as you know, West Ham, we ain't as rich of a club as like a Man United, a Man City, a Chelsea, a Tottenham.
I want to say something as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're going to invest in an attacker, I think what West Ham need is a striker. Obviously, because Füllkrug's gone now. So there's one less option for you guys to have a striker. It's just Wilson at this point. So
yeah.
There is something I did want to say as well about a striker. Fabrizio Romano did mention that in the past couple of weeks, you have contacted between 10 to 12 different strikers and seeing the situation of them. So you are interested in signing a striker. It just depends on who that man will be.
Honestly, like, I'm not too mad with Wilson. I think we just need another striker that's either... Well, I think we need a young striker for sure. And
competition for him.
Yeah, competition for him. Because I think, I know I didn't, have much hope, let's say, for Wilson when he first arrived. But I have to, hold up my hands and apologise to him because he's been absolutely key for us this season. I want to see him start more because I don't know what the fuck Nuno's doing with Paqueta as striker. Who does he think he is? Does he think he can be Pep Guardiola and play bloody Paqueta at the false nine, mate, and think he's Messi? No, he's shit. He's alright at cam. Play him at cam if you're going to play him, and then play Wilson as striker. I actually don't mind Paqueta playing cam, just not striker as a false nine or whatever it is he's trying to do. Because he's nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen on the pitch. I'm always looking for him. I'm like, where's this guy? It's like I'm watching playing Where's Waldo, bro. When I'm watching him, like, where is this guy? He's usually in the wrong places. Look, he is a great player and he's got great talent, but at the moment, unless you're playing him cam, don't play him because his attitude is very bad on the pitch. The amount of times he's complaining to the ref when he doesn't need to be and getting fouls that he doesn't need to and getting cards he doesn't need to. It's just really annoying. Anyway, going back to the striker thing, yeah, heard that, we were interested in Vopotnik from Swansea. I've heard some good things about him. Obviously, we are from Swansea, so me and Khalis, so you know what I mean? Like, we obviously have seen some games of him and heard some good things from Swans fans. And I can't remember who the other striker that we were...
Who would you go for, like, as a realistic target for West Ham?
That's a great question. Honestly...
Like, not obviously not like someone like, I don't know.
No. You said
Rodrigo or something like that.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too mad with Vopotnik. I think he is decent. I think maybe with Nuno and like sometimes like bringing these players up, they can sometimes the right team is what they need, and maybe even having that move. Like, you know what I mean? Like under Nuno's coaching, you never know. He could like go on to do well. So yeah. So honestly, I think whoever Nuno does want, as long as it's not Adama Traore, I'm alright with. But centre back, in my opinion, needs to be priority.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because you're linked to a lot of... I'm getting a lot of transfer news for West Ham, and it's mostly attacking based, and I'm not really seeing much defensive movement going on for you guys. And you're right, it is a bit of a stupid one. It's like,
you're looking at the summer transfer window all over again, bro. They didn't prioritize the right positions towards the end. Like, why the
I like
fuck
Man
are we
United as
getting
well.
him? Bro, I completely forgot Hermansen got signed, you know. That, like, bro. What
Pointless
was that,
signing.
bro? Those
Yeah.
were 25 mil down the fucking drain for no reason. When we needed midfielders and defenders, bro. It's just like, fuck me, bro. Hate this
Potter's
ownership.
magic.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, we could discuss a few more transfers, but again, it's still a bit too early to sort of go into them into depth because obviously the transfer window hasn't actually opened yet. But obviously the main story being the Semenyo story, and we've already discussed that. So let's say next week there's more transfer rumors, then obviously we will go into that a bit more.
Of course.
But now we will be giving you our predictions. So if we just go in order, the same way we normally do. So Al, Hassan, me, just give your result prediction, and yeah.
All right. Do you want to give
So
us the
it's
fix?
Manchester United versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
What do you think, Al?
I've gone 2-2.
I've gone 2-2 as well, to be fair.
I want to go 2-2, but since we've all gone 2-2, I'll go 1-1. So 1-1 just to be a bit different. Okay. The next game is Nottingham Forest, Manchester City.
I've gone 4-1 City.
I've gone 4-0.
I've gone 3-1 City. Let's move on to the next one, and that is Arsenal versus Brighton.
I've gone 2-0 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
I've gone 2-0 Arsenal as well. Brentford Bournemouth.
I've gone 3-1 Brentford.
I've gone for 3-1 Brentford as well.
I don't know.
Are you changing your score?
I don't know. I'm only changing it because I don't want to be the same. I'll go 2-1 Brentford. Okay, there we go. So we got Burnley Everton.
I've gone 2-1 Everton.
I've gone for 1-0.
I've gone 2-1 Everton. We're getting very similar scores. Now we're moving on to Liverpool Wolves.
I've only gone 2-0 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
I've gone 3-0 Liverpool. West Ham versus Fulham.
I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. I'm going to change it.
Spicy.
I've gone for 1-0.
I've gone 1-1 as well. Chelsea versus Villa.
Chelsea versus Villa. I've gone 2-1 Chelsea. Again, I don't even know if I believe in that.
I've gone for... I'll have to change it. I'll put 3-1 Chelsea, but I think I'll put as a draw. I'll put 1-1.
I've gone 2-2 draw.
I'm not putting 3-1.
Sunderland versus Leeds.
I've gone 2-1 Sunderland.
I've gone 2-1 as well. 2-1 Sunderland.
Come on, man. I can't keep on changing my scores.
All right, I'll take one for the team. I'll go 3-1.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll go 2-1 then. 2-1 Sunderland. And then finally, Crystal Palace versus Tottenham.
I've gone 2-0 Palace.
3-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. And that is it for the predictions. We had so many similar scores. Again, honestly, I don't think we're going to get many of these. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think we'll get many of these if I'm honest with you. Do you know what I mean? But again, before we end the video, Al, do you want to give us the quiz for the next player?
Of course. Let's go with the first fact. His first contract at Manchester United paid him just £20 per week, and he initially struggled with the homesickness so badly that the club considered sending him back to Belfast permanently. He wore number 11 for most of his Manchester United career at a time when the shirt was strictly reserved for traditional wingers long before squad numbers existed. In the 1969-70 season, he was suspended by his club for missing training after being photographed partying in London, marking one of the earliest examples of celebrity culture colliding with football discipline.
Didn't know Marcus Rashford was still alive then.
He scored 6 goals in one FA Cup match during a 5th round replay against Northampton Town in January 1970, a record rarely matched in major English competitions. Fifth and the final fact, he earned 37 caps and scored 9 goals for Northern Ireland, despite playing for a national team that never qualified for a major tournament during his international career. Let us know if you know who that is in the comments, and of course we will reveal him at the start of the next video.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Al. Again, thank you very much for tuning on to today's video. Like we said, we want to make this a weekly thing. Obviously, depending on the scheduling of the Premier League, I believe next week and all of that will be we'll have midweek games, so that might have to change the schedule a little bit. But normally, if there is no midweek Premier League games, we'll be doing a video like this. And if you guys want to leave us any sort of recommendations you think we should do in the comments below, that would also be very appreciated. So yeah, we can sort of spread the play and make it a bit more interesting and see what you guys think we should do. But thank you guys so much for coming in. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, your notification bell, so you get notified when we upload videos, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Yeah.